Hello, travelers. This is going to be your Libra Sun, Moon, and Rising reading for July 2024. This is a general reading, so the message will not resonate with everyone. Please check back to your Moon and Rising time video. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can now find my reading packages in the About box section of my channel. And I have just noticed that the About box section has moved. On desktop, where you see my custom link, underneath my name is an arrow, so click to the right of the arrow and it should reveal the About box section. This is the same whether on desktop or handheld devices. There I have listed the packages to include the number of minutes, the number of questions, the delivery method, and the price. I don't have a website right now because before I had my stroke, I took the website down. So you have to email me. Simply email me at the address that you see on the screen, hiddenlotustarot.com. hiddenlotustarot@gmail.com, and say, for instance, Tarot, I would like a 45-minute reading, and I will promptly respond back to you with booking instructions and a payment link. My turnaround time for producing personal readings is 48 to 72 hours after receiving payment and your responses to the booking instructions. I do not believe in making people wait for their reading. So I had to write that all down, and I was reading it from the screen because I can't remember everything that I'm supposed to say. And my speech, I sometimes get flustered with my speech. So here we are. We will get started with the reading. I have the Radiant White deck. I have the LIBRA Sun for clarification should we need. And we will wrap the reading up with the Golden Nostradamus card. I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. There. And I will put another shuffle and rifle on the deck, and we will get started with the reading. There's a shuffle. The rifle. Here's a shuffle. Oh, a card fell out. We will cut the deck. And let's see what the card was that fell out. I can't pick it up. Oh, the Three of Pentacles. I'm trying to see if the light will be okay. Maybe I should turn it down a little bit, close my blinds a little bit so you can get a clear picture of what the card looks like. There. So, we have the Three of Pentacles. That's better. Next card. I think my deck is upside down. There it is. The Chariot. The World card. Next row. The Lovers card. The King of Swords. The King of Cups. That's interesting. Last row, the Tower. The Death card. That's interesting. And finally, we have the Two of Cups. So, That's interesting. What is over the whole reading? The entire energy of the whole reading? The Emperor. This is really kind of a spectacular spread because I have in the spread itself 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana. So this tells me that there is a major spiritual lesson in the reading for someone out there who is a Libra, someone arising. I have just 1 pentacle, 1 sword, and 2 cups. So, let me start in the center because everything else is happening around the center of the reading. I have a King of Swords. He's usually an air sign, like normally Aquarius, but he can be a Gemini or a Libra. As a profession, he is usually associated with being a soldier, a police officer. He can be a chef, an oral surgeon, a regular surgeon. He can be a writer, a researcher, an editor. He can even have to do with the law, but that's more this card right here. But he can be the administrator or enforcer of laws, the King of Swords. And he is the type of person who is basically no nonsense. He doesn't want to hear anything maybe extraneous. He wants to deal strictly with the facts, and he is a logical individual. I think that this situation involves 3 people, you and 2 men, simply because I have this connotation of 3 in several cards. 3 people here, 3 figures there, 1, 2, 3, the figure and the center figure and the 2 sphinxes. 3 people here, the angel and the couple. 3, not people, but 3 objects, because it's an only man-made object in the tarot deck. And I have a connotation of 3 things here. So I feel that one of these individuals may be a father figure to several kids, because the Emperor is the archetype of the father figure in the tarot, and he represents reason and logic. He did not become the Emperor because he was a tyrant to everybody, but he also did not become an emperor because he gave everything away. He's not a pushover. As a profession, the emperor is usually someone like a mentor or a coach, sometimes a philanthropist. He is someone you can go to get advice from. He has supposedly a lot of wisdom implied by the gray beard and hair. He is probably has some type of military tactics or strategies. But on the card, I have 2 figures in the cards themselves. There are 2 figures giving the side eye. It's an emperor who is kind of side eyeing the whole situation, and the King of Cups who is side eyeing the King of Swords. The Emperor is Mars energy. It represents Mars. Which represents the ego, war, fighting, defending. And it represents, being Aries, it represents the first house where everybody sees what's going on. So this involves your reputation, your name, your face, what you wear. I have more messages coming from the Emperor, but later on. So I read the cards past, present, future, past, present, future, and the interplay of the cards. I have the Three of Pentacles, which speaks about craftsmanship, workmanship. It involves new projects where there are at least 3 people involved in the situation. And the 3 represents that it's more than at least 3 people in the situation, or that there may be delays or postponements before any future successes can be realized. But if you look at the card, here we have the image of a nun and a priest going to a workman here, a craftsman, and discussing plans. Can we build this thing? Is it going to cost even more than that? And it's a pinnacle. So it's not just about the finances of doing something, it's a physicality of doing it. Pinnacles represent the 3rd dimension. And the workman here is on the bench. So it says that he has a bit more advice or experience in the situation. So partnership, cooperation, and doing something. But I come to the Chariot card, which is a 7. And the 7 is the number of spiritual perfection, but also a moment of questioning yourself, doubting yourself. And the Chariot says you absolutely, positively can go where you want to go, do what you want to do, as long as you have your emotions under control. This is a Cancer card. So it represents home, family, homeland, state, country, city, family. It represents security, happiness, all those attributes that are associated with Cancer. But if you look at the card, the charioteer doesn't even have any reins by which to control the chariot himself. So this is about balancing out the negative and positive parts of your personality. Overhead, he has a canopy of the sky and 2 quarter moons on his shoulders. And the whole thing kind of represents, it's an implied circle, 2 halves of a whole. Yes? The chariot is not a luxury vehicle. In the olden days, people drove chariots during war. And it was sometimes a long and dusty, hard trip. But if you were able to control your chariot, you were able to arrive safely at your destination. And I think there is a trip here. The chariot indicates to me sometimes a vehicle, like a car, but also it sits next to the World card. And the World card is about a graduation, a period of being somewhat protected in the situation before you step out into the world. It also can sometimes have connotations of world travel. But if you notice, the figure in the card 2 has 2 wands. She is balancing out everything before she steps forward into the new. So this is the last major arcana card before you begin again at the Fool. Okay? Next, we have the Lovers. It's a 6, which indicates balance, harmony, and love. And sometimes this card is about either a couple that are very in tune with each other. They never had a fight. They respect, love, and honor each other. But then sometimes it represents a couple that has a total mismatch of energies. They don't get along. It might be a marriage of convenience. But more than anything, the card represents to me a choice between two things. And you have to remember that whatever choice you make, when you choose it, you make the decision, you close down one option and you go with the other one. In other words, when you make one choice, the door closes on another. And therefore, the card counsels that you should make sure that what you are choosing aligns with everything that you believe in, because the decision will have far-reaching consequences. It doesn't tell me what type of consequences, it's just that there are other consequences involved. So you have to think carefully about how you feel, about what you think, what you say. It's a Gemini card. So this involves all the mental aspect or mental plane of this situation. We come over here to the King of Cups. Usually a water sign, can be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Usually he is associated with like a lawyer or a counselor with the law. He is someone who can be very compassionate, very loving, very kind, quite emotional. But he is usually not someone that you want to always share your secrets with, because he tends to be a little gossipy. He can be. Coming over here to the last row, I have the Tower. And it is the only man-made tarot, only man-made structure in the deck. And what that represents is the structures that we build up for ourselves that we think are going to last forever. Like a marriage, like a job, like a friendship. But something happens that whatever you have built up in your mind about the situation comes crashing down. See the people falling out of the Tower? And sometimes this card can represent an emotional outburst. It represents an epiphany. Aha, the crown gets knocked off the head. That's what that meant. That's what that means. It happens out of the blue though. It's a surprise. Although I don't think this is a surprise, I think the speed at which it happened is a surprise to you. But the neat thing about the Tower card is after the dust has settled, you get a chance to rebuild on fresh ground, whatever that means for you. And the fact that it's followed by the Death card tells me whatever the situation is, it definitely is going to come to an end. Look at the card. It has a horse on it. And to me, horses always represent a change in direction. If the situation has been volatile, that will end. And you will move on to a different situation. It's the darkest before the dawn. See the sunlight rising in the background? But nothing and nobody can stop death. We see the king is dead here. The priest is imploring death to not come to stop. The wife has fainted, but the child is the only one who doesn't fear death. What is death? It's simply a transformational. It transforms the situation from what it used to be to what it will become. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, so one way of life or one way of being transforms into another. Even if there's pain in it, loss in it, you are giving an opportunity to make something new. Finally, the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups has many different meanings. Mostly people interpret it as being about a couple. Again, it's the same energy as this. It's a two, so it also implies that there is a choice, option, duality, someone actively opposing you or you being actively opposed within yourself about something. It requires a crossroads. It says you have reached a crossroads. But the Two of Cups represents most times a couple or a partner who, like the lovers, who really understand each other, who love and respect each other. Maybe even their health improves being around each other. The Caduceus. But it also represents the idea that the ideal partner may come along for you. Be this in business, romantic, or personal. And each one is offering the cup to the other. Sometimes, to me, the card says you need to balance out the male and the masculine and feminine energies. Like with the lovers, you need to balance out the masculine and feminine energies within yourself. Now, what do I have in the spread that I can look at? I can only look at the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles as they relate to all these major arcana cards. I didn't have any repeater numbers. I had two kings. Usually two kings represent some kind of honor or business deal that's going between the two men. But I don't feel this is a business deal. I'm not ruling it out, but it doesn't feel like a business deal. This feels like a personal situation. So I will go to my notes and we'll read about the Three of Pentacles and see if there are any other messages that can come out of the spread as they relate to these five major arcana cards. Three of Pentacles next to the Tower tells you to prepare yourself for the necessary changes to plans. Otherwise, there may be a loss in business or some other negotiation. The Emperor, Three of Pentacles with the Emperor, may be telling of a clash of personalities, a battle of wills, or disagreements, particularly in work arena. That's it. Now I look at the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. Next to the Tower, it tells of adjustments and readjustments needing to be made within a personal relationship. This could be caused by unexpected circumstances and changes, or because of stress or pressure caused by waiting for expected news or information. And I think that the situation may involve the arrival of this King of Swords. And the fact that the King of Cups is giving him the side eye, he's not directly challenging him, the King of Swords, but he's suspicious of him. But I think when the King of Swords arrives, everything will come to an end. There is going to be a big, major, either a fight or a disagreement. I feel that he's coming from overseas. And it will cause disagreements even with the King of Cups. So right now, I feel you are protected, and you need to think about which one of these guys you're going to be with. Or you need to balance out what you feel, because that's all cups represent. What's true and what's not true in terms of how you feel. Is your home important to you? Is your family? Is security? Because with this guy, it's all going to end some kind of way. It won't end. It will transform. So, I'm going to pull. This really doesn't. I think perhaps these two guys know each other. I get the feeling that they are known to each other. They may not necessarily know about each other, but they know each other. So, let me go to the Sibila cards. Because what I want to know, if the cards will tell me, is what is the situation with the Tower card. This is the outgoing energy. So that means maybe, perhaps, that you can make up with one of these two guys because they are both attached to the Two of Cups. But I think the choice is going to be very difficult for you. On the other hand, the choice may be quite simple. One of the other gentlemen may make the choice for you. It feels like a tricky situation. And I feel that you have been waiting on news and information from one of these guys. That's what Two of Cups says about being next to the Tower card. You've been waiting on some expected news. And I get that from the Tower, the Chariot card with the Mercury rings above the Yoni symbol. So, Spirit, this card indicates the longing, the sighing, the waiting, feeling as though your ship has sailed, and so you feel kind of sad, bereft. You may be crying, but notice the arrow above the woman's head. What that represents are discordant energies. This is the fear of what's going to happen in the future, being projected into the now. Being projected into the now. I didn't think I said that right, but Amore. This is Cupid. And And if you notice, he is blindfolded. That means that he shoots his arrows everywhere. He has no specific intended target. So sometimes this can mean being infatuated. Not true love, being infatuated. And it happened rapidly, quickly. And you got to remember, the story of Cupid is one time he shot himself with an arrow. And also means that conditions have not come yet to where a decision that conditions are ripe to change. There are two arrows and they're shooting at each other. Finally, we have L'Amante. She is the Queen of Cups. And this tells me that you are all in your emotions about everything. She is the woman who does not express herself very well. So, to me, I think that you're going to have to make a choice. It will be a painful choice. It says the woman, she longs for her lover, but she does not express herself very well. So let me go to the Golden Nostradamus card. This could go either way. And if you look at the stance of the King of Swords, he has his arrow, his sword up to blocking the Lover's card. Like he doesn't want to hear anything. He doesn't want to know. He doesn't want to see. He's going to argue and say, what you're saying doesn't make sense. And as long as it doesn't make any sense, he's not going to understand it. That may be the reason why you're not able to express yourself. But it can go either way. If you look here, and if you look here, they're both attached to the Two of Swords. The Two of Cups. And all that says is you're feeling very emotional about the situation. Let's pull a card. The Golden Nostradamus. Number 23, the Sun. I think it's the Sun. Yes. The wise enjoy their just rewards. The fool wants more than he can afford. Success will shine down upon you. You will be given some power and kissed by good fortune, but only as a consequence of your integrity, honesty, and commitment. And that's what I have for you, Libra, for July 2024. Good luck. It looks like a tricky situation. Bye.